So when it comes to IP address, we have also discussed on what is IP address and also the two types of IP address we have. But how would this IP address be assigned to a computing device? So that is what we're also going to discuss now. Now, if you look at this, we have a static way of assigning IP address to a computing device. We have another one that is dynamic way of assigning IP address to a computing device. So when we say that we assign a computing device IP address statically, so what are we trying to say? Let's look at here. It said the static IP address is an IP address that is manually configured on a device by a network administrator. Simple put, that a network administrator will be the one to manually begin to assign that IP address to each computing device. So if assume that a company has like 100 devices, here when the IT admin is trying to assign these IP addresses to a computing device manually, he must assign it one after the other. So after one PC giving IPC an IP address, he must move to the other one, assign IP address to it. So come to talk about how many times or days will you take the IT admin to be able to assign all these computing device IP address. So it will take its time and it become a full job, so to say. Now remember that the benefit of this static IP address is that the IP address can never change overnight. It will still be the same no matter how many days, months, years. The IP address will still stay the same. So the IT admin knows, if he knows the IP address that you assign to a particular computing device, it must also be like that. So it will be able to access that computing device because the IP address can never change. It remains the same. Now, what of dynamic IP address? Now, dynamic, as the name implies, also changes. So, what is dynamic IP address? The dynamic IP address is an IP address that is automatically assigned to a device on a network by a DHCP. So what is DHCP? Is a dynamic host configuration protocol. That means at this point, whoever that is also trying to assign a computing device IP address dynamically must have a server that is configured to do the work of DHCP. So here is the DHCP. That server must be configured. There must be a computing device to do what? To do the work of DHCP. So now, as soon as he configured a DHCP on a computing device, maybe on a router, maybe even on a switch, maybe even on a server to do the work of DHCP. So that server will be the one that will automatically assign IP address, default gateway, subnet mask, and DNS to what? All the computing device automatically. So it's not a question that like a static, that each one will be assigned manually. So this dynamic way of assigning IP address to a computing device reduce stress from IT admin because those IP addresses will be assigned automatically without even him knowing when the IP address is assigned to a computing device. Even the one that is also using the system will not know when the IP address was assigned to him because everything will be done by the power of a server. So now what is the advantage of, also let's look at it that way. So the advantage is that, disadvantage is that any IP address that's also given to a computing device might likely change at any time. Now let's put it this way, that in the morning Mr. Tom come to work, like in the banking sector, Mr. Tom come to work, as soon as he turns his system on, now it might likely be given IP address by DHCP to be maybe 192.168.10.3. Now tomorrow or next tomorrow he came to work again. Now the IP address now the DHCP might likely give to this guy, which is Mr. Tom, might likely be 192.168.10.10 or the 10.20 or the 10.30. He can never tell what IP address that the DHCP will be offering to you because here we say it is dynamic, it changes at any time. So that is why we cannot say that this is my IP address and it will remain the same. It's automatically assigned and it will also change at any given time. So this is the two types of way that we can also assign as IP addresses to our computing device. So and also these IP addresses, remember that we say that we have it to be public and also we have it to be private. So thank you for watching and keep subscribing.